Okay, so now we're coming on to our hands and knees, or 4-point kneeling. And just before we start to move too much, I just want to bring you back to a more awareness of your body, where you are, and actually the breath. So we're thinking of our knees being underneath the hips, not too wide, about a fist distance apart is great. And notice the lower leg, the front of your lower leg against the ground, and those toes. And we don't want to tuck the toes under. So from here, we think about that whole length of the spine, from the tailbone to the crown of the head, having those natural curves. And we're thinking of the hands pushing down into the mat, lifting up into the armpit to really work and maintain that space at the back of the body. So it's the whole of the front of the body being supporting the back of the body. And we're just going to bring the breath into the body, an awareness of where the breath is going. So we're going to breathe in and encourage the breath into that navel area, into the ribs and into the chest. And notice the head of the position of your head, as I want your head to be the final vertebrae, thought of as the final vertebrae of your spine. So really keeping that alignment and the breath coming into the body and letting the breath out. And as you let the breath out, again, it's that kind of like wrapping of the hip ribs around the back of the body, that support from that kind of corset muscle that we refer to at times around the waist area, and breathing in and breathing out. So we're going to start a bit of spine mobility with our sequential movement. We're going to take from our tailbone curls under, we move into the lower, the middle and the upper, keeping those shoulders away from the ears, and we're pushing down into everything we've got in touch with the ground, into the shins and into the hands, lifting into the armpits. We then move the tailbone away and we soften through the lower, into the middle, into the upper, and then the head just comes up as we bring the heart forward, extending. Then from the tailbone we come under, lower, middle, upper. The gaze looks to your navel, so try and keep your eyes open so it can really guide the position of your head. And then from your tailbone, take it away and soften through into the lower back, the middle back, and bring your heart forward. That's excellent, Lizzie. Really nice. Really good. And then take it back from your tailbone into your lower back, into your middle back, and rising. Again, whatever's in touch with the ground, we can push into to really ask for a bit more space in the body. So the last time, from the tail, moving into the upper and the head. So we're going to move from the head this time. So same principle, but moving from the top of the spine. So the head comes down, and then we kind of push into the arms to really feel that width across the back, into the lower, and really down through, and tail is under. So now the head starts to come forward, and it's almost like I pull on my hands a little, my elbows soften, and I draw the heart forwards and in, and I lift the tail. Very nice. Then the head, this is looking really good. So we're breathing out to curl up, moving through every segment of the spine and encouraging that space at the back of the body. Then the head lifts and we soften those shoulders down, and we're moving through to the tail. Really nice. And this time we curl the head down. We're going to come into our waves. So we're going to bring it up into our beautiful curl. Then we start to move back. And I want you to keep feeling like you're inside a ball, and you want to touch the inside surface of the ball the whole time. Then from here we get a little softening, and I move forwards with my heart, lifting the gaze to come forwards into the front of the body. I round into the back of the body, moving into the space behind me, really spreading the skin across the back. I pull on the hands and I move with my heart coming through, and gaze lifts. Really nice. Rounding again. One more time, then we're going to change the direction that we're moving. So from here, I come forwards. I draw myself forwards between the arms and I rise. Then I roll my spine back, curling and leaning into the space. I'm going to get you to come straight back the way you've just come. So the arms stay straight and you round up and over. Watch these shoulders don't lift. Good. Then from here, we soften the elbows and the heart, and then we send it back. Good. And then we round. So we've just changed the direction we're going. Soften and then push into that space. Beautiful. One more time. Over, bringing it forward, softening. Gaze lifts as well as you come back. And then just come to center. So we're going to move into our kneeling combination just to add a little bit of spirals into the movement. Does involve some balance, so just go with care. Make sure you've got space around you. You are going to need a relatively balanced space at the side for this one, and if you haven't got the space, don't worry, you can just go as far as your space allows. So we'll start with that lovely curl back that we did, leaning up and moving into the space behind you. And as you come forwards, your right leg is going to extend back with the toe tucked under. We then dip forwards into the upper body, pushing up and then pushing out through this back heel, lengthening through that leg. We then center ourselves again, bringing the weight back, and now the right leg is going to go out to the side of you, in line with the hip, and then we open the right arm. We push down into the left hand and we open our ribs. That's so nice. Good. Now we're going to add in here, threading the needle with an adductor stretch. So as that right hand comes under, the right leg slides away and you sit back towards your left heel. So we want to have this leg more in line with the hip so we can really slide that leg further away, sitting down. This hand, okay, needs to be under the shoulder, so we can use that hand to get you round and under. Pushing up and coming back, bringing the knee underneath, the hand up to the ceiling. Sorry, Lizzie. Land up and open. Now that right hand goes down under the shoulder. The right leg is going to come all the way round behind you to the left side, and we lift up that left arm. Again, the movement's very organic from the heart, yes, nice. Then that hand comes down, the right hand's going to come up, and we move on to the top of that right foot. We want to try and keep the hip over the knee, and we move from here, nice. So from here, your right knee is going to come behind your left. And then the right hand feeds underneath. And we want to try and get this rounding feeling here. Really, the supporting hand is working. We're getting this lovely spiral line through the body. Unravel as you straighten your right leg. Get this leg out to unravel. It's like you're reopening the body. Right hand comes down to the ribs and then the hip and the knee. Very nice. Let's do that all on the other side. We start with our lovely wave coming up through and gently moving back to the space. Pull on the hands, heart comes forward, and we find our lion pose. That's with our toe tucked under and our heart open. I come down and dip into the upper body and push up. Then send the heel away, driving through that back leg. And then come center, and we're going to push down into the right hand and lift your left left leg comes out to the side, and then open out that arm. Good. Turning, just keeping the leg that comes out in line with the hip rather than too far forward. Nice. Now feeding that left arm under, the left leg slides away. She sits back towards the heel, feeding and looking the way you're going. Then coming up, opening up the arm, bringing it up, nice. Then the hand comes back under the shoulder. The left leg is going to move around to the outside of the right, and you pick up your right arm. That's your breath in. And again, moving from the heart, really nice. The arm comes down and I pick up the left hand, and my left foot I roll onto, unraveling the body. Good. Now that hand's going to feed under the right as the left knee goes behind the right shin. And as I go under, I'm looking for a rounding. Good. Then I come up, unraveling, stretching that left leg, opening hips and heart. Good, and then bringing it round back to 4-point kneeling. Good, rounding the spine up and sitting back towards the heels. Well done. So the next one we're going to go into is our downward dog variation. So we're going to come back onto our hands and knees and we tuck our toes under. We're then going to lift and hover the knees off the ground and then send our hips back and lower the heart towards the thighs. Beautiful, good. Then from here, we're going to bend the knees again and bring the chest and the heart forward, looking forwards, softening the elbows, and heart is up. Nice. Then we take the hips back and we push away into the pad of the hand, lowering the heels and arriving into our down dog. Now the movement comes into the upper back. So we're going to keep the legs straight and bring our body weight over our hands, rounding, gazing to the navel and moving into the upper back. Keep that rounding, rounding, rounding. Work for it. Yeah, these things don't come easy. It's a hard job to get that work there. Then we send the legs back, pushing the sit bones up and the heels down, bending the knees, bringing your heart forward, your chest forward and open, sending it back with a long leg, good, heels going down, and then rounding into the upper back, gazing, really find this space, keep that head looking to the tummy, lifting, rounding, yes, then send it back, pushing back, just one more time, you're doing really well, bend the knees, lift the heart, bring the heart forwards, then send it back, pushing with the arms into the back, lengthening, rounding the upper body over the hands, looking to the tummy, Lizzie, look to your tummy, keep rounding, 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 yes, that's better, nice. Then we come back into down dog, lift the hips, send it back, and then bend your knees, sit back to your heels with your toes untucked, and just resting there. Lovely, well done.